everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Monday to each and every one of you. And what is happening? Look, no VHS tapes right here. You'll see eventually. I'm moving some things around down here, trying something a little bit different, involving some stuff going on up in the rafter shelf, so bear with me. You might see some blank spaces here for a little while, but it's all coming along. I'll probably have this done in like a day or two. I'm pretty fast when it comes to moving things around. I just bunker down and just get through it all. So bear with me. But all right, another thing, the light on me might be a little different. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. We'll see. Looks okay from what I'm seeing right now. We'll see what it looks like when I watch the video back. It's the same light, just a different light bulb. I'm getting tired of like the fluorescent like white light. It seemed really nice when I first had the library. Now I'm just like I want some more. I kind of miss it, like that warm sort of like not yellow, but like I think it's called like natural sun or whatever. I forget. It's more of like an orangey yellow type of light, the type of light you would normally expect from like a light bulb. I kind of miss that down here, so I have one of those going on right now that I've been using just when I'm down here. So I'm using it on me. I don't know. You guys let me know. Is the lighting okay? I think the light bulb's a little stronger too. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. But anyway, so bear with all this stuff. We'll just make do. But anyway, all right. Let's get down to today's daily sickness video. And we got some reviews. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting week because it's really crappy out. We got a ton of snow. We got about 2 feet of snow over the weekend. I didn't do any hunting over the weekend. I left the house like once, got stuck in the snow. That was fun. Luckily, there's some people that helped me, help push me. Apparently, my town came through with like plows once during the storm and then never came back when the storm was over. So the roads were really crappy. So I got stuck. That was horrible. I was not very happy. I wanted to like shoot somebody in the town hall. I was pissed. I might go to the next town meeting and complain because I was pretty mad. So I didn't go out all weekend. This week, I don't know how roads are going to be in other towns. I might not get out till like later on in the week if I get out at all. I have no idea. This week's kind of all up in the air as far as hunting is concerned. So this is going to be an interesting week for videos. We'll see. I do have some stuff to show you. I grabbed from like 2 different Goodwill, so I have that to cover me. I got these reviews. I have like one other thing I might want to show you. So I do have some stuff to cover this week, but it's going to be interesting. I don't know how much hunting I'm going to get done, and that's not like me. You know me, I'm always out hunting. But anyway, I'm rambling on again. Let's get down to today's Daily Sickness video and take a look at some titles that I've recently watched. So we're going to try to get through these as quickly as possible, as always. And first up is Wild. Now, I wanted to see this one because I'd heard a lot of good things about it, and it was pretty decent. It's all about this character Reese Witherspoon plays, who lived a kind of crappy life, abusive father, and just things not going so well. Then her mother dies, and she kind of loses it. She's married this time, starts going off and like banging like every dude she meets, gets hooked on drugs, ends up getting divorced because, even though her and her husband are like madly in love with each other, they end up getting divorced because she's going around screwing everybody and everything like that. So obviously that's not good. And it's a really interesting situation because the husband is still like madly in love with her, but she screwed around on him. So obviously, he's like, I love you so much and you mean the absolute world to me, but, and you always will be everything to me, mean the world to me. I'll always love you, but this isn't going to work out. He's not stupid. He's not just going to stay with her because he loves her. He knows, yeah, I love you, but you screwed everybody. It's not going to work out. So she basically goes to find herself, and the way she does that is by going hiking on this like crazy long like trail that's only like experienced hikers really ever do. And she's never hiked before. There's nothing about it. It doesn't go so well. Obviously she has no idea what she's doing when it comes to hiking, but she kind of learns along the way. And spoiler, she actually makes it and whatever. It's kind of like a finding yourself type of movie. It was pretty decent. I wouldn't say the movie blew me away or anything like that. Maybe because I didn't really relate to the character so much. I have a hard time relating to people who like screw their lives up by doing like drugs and stuff like that. I know she had a troubled childhood and she probably had some like mental issues. I get that, but I don't know. I always have a hard time relating to people who do drugs because I've seen people screw their lives up with drugs. I have friends who screw their lives up with drugs, and I know people who like overdose. The lead singer of my brother's band in high school killed himself with heroin. I'm always like, why? Like, why would you ever do drugs? Like, I mean, drugs that you can get hooked to. I mean, whatever. You want to well, no, because you can get hooked to drinking. I mean, I guess marijuana, probably that's not so bad, I guess. But like cigarettes, I mean, like even things like that. Why would you want to do that? But like, especially like heroin and cocaine and stuff. It's like, why? Like, just not a very good idea. It's kind of like, I mean, it's not like you're like, oh, there's a maybe I'll get hooked, maybe this will screw me over. It's pretty much you're like guaranteed to get screwed over if you do drugs, like that. So I don't get it. So I have a hard time relating to people like that. So maybe I had a hard time relating to the character, but it was a decent movie. Would I recommend it? Yeah, it was pretty decent. I would recommend checking it out. It's nothing mind blowing, nothing you need to see, but if you're interested, it is worth checking out. Then a movie I definitely wanted to see, and that is Anonymous, all about the theory that William Shakespeare didn't really write his own plays, and it was all this like political thing written by geez, I'm forgetting like everything now. There's so many like British people, like historical British people in this movie. I'm American. I don't really know my British history. I mean, I know it, but not like crazy well know it. And of course, I'm not going to tell you anything on the back here because why would they? That would be that'd be really, really nice if they did that. But basically, written by like somebody like political, but he wasn't supposed to be writing, and William Shakespeare was the one who was like being credited for writing the plays, but he wasn't actually the one writing them. But he became big, let it all go to his head. It basically this whole big theory, and I think it's based on the fact that like what was it, like none of his plays have like ever actually been like found like written in his hand or something like that. So they're all kind of like, did he really write these plays? Was it, it's all a theory. I've looked it up online. Some people like, are really, for it, say, it's definitely true. And some people are like, no, it's all BS. That didn't happen. It's all just a crazy theory. He wrote his own play. So, who knows? Whatever. It's an interesting story nevertheless. Whether it's true, whether it's made up, it's all very interesting and an interesting theory, whether it's true or false. It's an interesting theory at the very least, and made for an interesting movie. And I would say if you like period pieces, it's worth checking out. It was a great period piece, interesting story, interesting characters, and you'll learn a bit of British history if you don't know it already. I certainly did, but I'm bad with names, so I forget like all the dukes and the earls and the kings and the queens. I'm just like, I forget. I forget who's from where. But anyway, still very good movie. I would definitely recommend it. Again, if you like period pieces. If you're not a fan of period pieces, then you're not going to want to see it. Otherwise, check it out. It's pretty good. And then we watched Tenure. This was an interesting movie. It's kind of one of those little sort of more of our independent films. I was really into it because of the characters, and I liked it. Luke Wilson did a good job playing his character. He's his teacher who's really into teaching for the love of teaching, but he's trying to make tenure, and he has to write papers, and the head of the committee who chooses who gets tenure, they're kind of douchebags, and it's all about getting papers published and basically having the best teachers at their college and having people know that they're the best teacher. It's not about how good of a teacher you are. It's about your reputation, and like, are you known for being amazing, and does the world know you're amazing? Because we want everybody to know that our teachers are the best, but you don't actually have to be the best teacher. They just want people to think you're the best. And that's not what he's about. He just wants to teach. So he's getting all wrapped up in this whole being, getting tenure. And then at the end, maybe I won't give it away. I'll let you guys see what happens at the end. But interesting outcome at the end. Of course, through the movie, he starts to fall in love with his rivalry. That's not really a spoiler. You see that coming throughout the movie. He starts the fall for the other teacher who's going out for tenure. A new teacher comes in, and she's going out for tenure as well. And she's kind of his competition, and he ends up falling for her and whatnot. And do they get together at the end? Maybe. It's a good movie. I would recommend it. Definitely has some funny moments. It's one of those kind of, I don't know if I would say dark comedy, but it's more of that independent film type of comedy where it's not just straight up laughs. It's more of a story with some funny elements to it. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one. It was pretty good. If you like your more independent comedies, this is one to check out. It was a good watch. And then I didn't really even plan this. Just kind of happened on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I ended up watching The Butler, which actually features Martin Luther King. Well, a guy playing Martin Luther King. This was a really interesting movie. I had heard good things about it. It's taken me a while to finally get around to watching this one. And it was a great movie. All about like this kid who grew up in the South. Was it 1940s, 50s? I'm trying to think of when this actually starts. Obviously not Civil War times or anything. I want to say it's like I want to say his 40s. I think it was. He grows up, picking cotton because unfortunately, if you were African American and you lived in the South, you might not have been a slave anymore. But unfortunately, that was one of the horrible things about like after slavery. It was kind of like you're all free. Okay, now what do we do? Like it wasn't like anything. Like it's like okay, you're all free. You're not slaves anymore. But good luck. It's like it was kind of messed up. So a lot of these people still like a lot of African Americans, a lot of ex-slaves still just continue to work in the fields picking cotton because that's what they knew how to do. What else were they gonna do? Yeah, they might have been slaves, but they're basically still treated like slaves. You could just outright kill a black man, and okay, if you're a white man, you killed a black man. Okay, I mean down south anyway, it was just nobody. It was like legal to do. I mean, maybe not technically legal, but nobody was gonna prosecute you for it. So it's pretty messed up, and his father gets killed and whatnot, and he ends up running away, and basically ends up becoming working in houses as like a butler, and ends up being really good at it to the point where he ends up becoming a butler for the White House, and he's there for many years. And it's very interesting. It's really a movie based on watching everything go from just basically trying to think how to describe it. I would say kind of like watching basically civil rights. I guess you want to say like watching African Americans go from being these basically more or less like free slaves. Basically, I mean they were still basically slaves, but technically legally free, but not really being treated that way. And of course, black, equal but separate and stuff like that and whatnot. Down south, watching everything go through the race riots and all this horrible stuff going on involving race and schools being segregated and coming together and all this stuff that went on throughout the years leading up to Obama becoming president. Finally, there's a black president in the White House, and it's very interesting to watch. The history of basically things being absolutely horrible for the African American community to things getting better. I guess you could say things getting better. Much better to the point where the black president was elected. But again, that's political. We don't need to get into that. So very interesting, great movie. It's all based around one person, but it really shows you kind of the history of the history of the rights for African Americans and whatnot. So very cool, definitely an interesting movie. I liked it. It was great. I do call these movies cheat movies, and what I mean by that is you're bound to make a pretty good movie when you have a topic like this. I mean, when you have a very hot topic like race or something like that, or a lot of war movies, movies that are like, yeah, America, movies like that. They're kind of cheap movies. They're gonna be hits. People are gonna love them because it's, touches your heartstring. It's very like you're rooting for, whoever throughout the whole movie, So it was bound to be a good movie, and it was. I'd recommend it. Very interesting movie. Definitely check it out. Then a movie that I'm finally getting around to seeing. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm just finally watching this. I really don't have any movies in my collection that I'm like, I'm embarrassed I haven't watched. I used to say that was Godfather because it took me a while. It wasn't until last year that I watched the Godfather movies. I know that sounds crazy. Why is that? I don't know. I knew I had to invest my time. I knew it was one of those things where it's like, I want to marathon all three of them. They're long ass movies. I got to just make time to do it. I never did and finally did last year. So got around to that. So I won't really say there's any more movies in my collection that I'm like, I can't believe I haven't seen these, but there are some movies that I'm like, I probably should see them, and this is one of them, and that is The King of Comedy. I've been hearing such good things about this throughout the years, and I finally watched it. Really well done, interesting movie, all about this comedian who wants to make it big and whatnot, and you have this Jerry Lee Lewis playing this Jerry character who has this talk show. By the way, Jerry Lee Lewis was fantastic in this movie. It's a shame he was kind of typecasted into, playing these wacky characters. It's really nice to see him play a straight character. He's really good at it. He's a pretty decent actor. But, the Robert De Niro character wants to become this big upcoming comedian, wants to get his big break. It's not happening for him. Jerry Lee Lewis basically tells him, like, screw off. He keeps trying. You gradually see throughout the movie that he's got a few screw looses in his head. He's a little nuts. And then finally to the point where he actually kidnaps Jerry Lee Lewis's character, basically forces himself on the TV. And the basically way he sees is, you'd rather have his like 15 minutes of fame on TV and then go to jail and be screwed, than just like, die having nobody ever know who he was. So that's the way he sees it. He doesn't care if he gets in trouble. He doesn't care what happens. He just wants his time in the spotlight, even if it's only for a few minutes. He wants to be seen, wants the world to know who he is. And if that's it for the rest of his life, then so be it. At least people know who he was. And I guess that's what you want. That's what you can get. So very interesting movie, very cool. It's great to watch. Just Robert De Niro's character. You realize throughout the movie that this guy's just bonkers. He's nuts. He's definitely got major issues going on, and very enjoyable. So I recommend it. Yes, I'm sure you've all heard good things over the years. Like I said, I've heard great things. I can't believe I'm only just getting around to watching it. Check it out. The King of Comedy. It's as good as you've heard. This I loved. Begin Again. This was awesome. I had no idea what this was going into. In fact, I feel kind of stupid. I didn't realize Keira Knightley was in it. Like I see this girl in the front, and I kept looking at her, and from the side, like now I look at her, I'm like, oh, that is Keira Knightley, but I didn't really even recognize that it was her. So I felt kind of stupid when I was like, Keira Knightley's in this movie? But this was great. Like I said, I knew nothing about it going into it, and it's all about Mark Ruffalo's character, who he's this big, he works in the music industry, like finding people. He has his own record company and whatnot. But the record company he founded, he works with Mos Def, and it's kind of gone to the point now where, it's just turning into it used to be the kind of record label where it was very independent. They wanted to find like these great artists who had this new sounds and were actually real artists. And the sad thing is the record company's gone like all the other record companies, where it's just gone to, crap music, just throwing crap out, whatever's hot at the moment, just horrible artists who have no talent whatsoever, but hey, the kids like it, let's make some money. That's it. It's all about money. It's not about having good artists. It's all about money. He, of course, is completely against that. Ends up getting kicked out of his own, company he founded. But in doing so, gets wasted one night, comes across Keira Knightley, who's singing in a club, and just envisions like what this artist could be, and works into it and makes this record with her, like it's independent record, like all throughout the city. They record all throughout the city, and it becomes this great thing. And the record company then that he used to work for, he ends up going back to them, and they actually want to make a record because it ends up being amazing and pretty awesome story of him just finding this random talent and making this great record with her. There's this whole movie about his character, how he's getting down his luck. He's not with his wife anymore, barely sees his kid. Then he's back at the end. He's like back with his family, and things are going better for Keira Knightley. And it's an interesting story with her and her ex-boyfriend, who became this big musician. Very interesting story, very good story. I would highly recommend Begin Again. I was blown away by this one. Again, something I should have watched a while ago. So great movie. Definitely check this one out. I loved it. Do I need to say this one's good? Everybody told me this was great, and that is The Martian. Of course it's great, although to steal a line from David Spade. I liked it better when I saw it the first time when it was called Gravity. All right, I mean, I thought both movies are great, but it is kind of the same sort of thing. I mean, it's Matt Damon gets left on Mars. They think the horrible storm comes. They have to leave Mars, and they think he's dead, but after the storm's over, it turns out he's not dead. Now he has to survive and find his way back home, basically. So, yeah, it is kind of like Gravity. I'd basically say that if you liked Gravity, you'll probably like The Martian. Maybe some people might disagree with me that it's like this. I'm not saying they're like the identical movies. They're not exactly the same, but it is kind of the same in the sense of they're both movies about people being like trapped in space and having to get home. Which one did I say I like more? I don't know. I guess I liked it about that equally. I'd say this one has a bit more story to it. The Martian has a bit more story, whereas Gravity was just literally Sandra Bullock trying to survive the entire time, like, and just get home throughout the whole movie. This one, a bit more story, where he's on the planet for a long time, and you gradually watch him do things to survive and how he's going to get home, and it's a bit more story oriented. So they are different movies, but I'd say if you like one, you'll like the other. But The Martian was great. I love this movie. A lot of people were saying this was their favorite movie of last year. Maybe, I'm not sure I'd go that far. I don't really know, but it was really good, and probably one of the best movies of last year at the very least. So The Martian, fantastic. Check it out. And then I watched Hotel Transylvania because I watched Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, Hotel Transylvania, I've already seen. I love this movie. Very well done. Pays great tribute to all the classic monsters. And I love this idea of Dracula building a hotel for monsters because when he built his hotel, the reason he built it is because this is, back in like the 1800s or whatever, when people are trying to just kill all monsters. They're just, like you see in the movies, torches and pitchforks and let's kill them all. And his wife ends up getting killed. And he's like, never again. This won't happen to any monsters again. So he builds this hotel for monsters to come and stay, and they're going to be safe. And what ends up happening is a human tourist, finds his way into the hotel, and all the craziness that ensues. And of course, Dracula's daughter here falls in love with them, and the craziness that goes on with that. And then eventually at the end of the movie, we found out that, this day and age, nobody wants to kill the monsters. Now people embrace monsters. People love monsters. They have conventions, and everybody comes to Transylvania to celebrate the monsters, and things are going well. Monsters and humans are now okay, and they can mingle. And great story. And Maven, I love, or no, it's not Mavis. I absolutely love her. She's definitely taken over my, I know it sounds gross, but the hot, animated characters. I used to leave some like Disney characters like Jasmine and Belle and stuff like that. I don't know. I think Mavis has taken over. I gotta think. She's a cute little goth girl. Got a thing for her. So I love Hotel Transylvania. It's great. If you like CGI animated movies, you like classic monsters, it's a fun movie. Definitely worth checking out. And like I said, I had already seen it, but I wanted to watch it again because I just watched Hotel Transylvania 2. Pretty much what I've heard. A lot of people are saying that good movie, but not as good as the first. I would agree. It's not. It's good, but it's a solid sequel. A good follow-up. Not as good as the first movie, but still definitely worth checking out nevertheless. And this one, Mavis, and what is her? I don't even remember his name. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. What is his? I can't remember his name at all. Yep. I don't know. Whatever Mavis's boyfriend. This guy right here. Leave a comment below. I forget his name. They end up, since they've together, they end up getting married, and they have a little baby right there. And the whole movie is Dracula basically trying to turn him into a vampire because basically, I think up to like you're 5, you don't necessarily have your fangs, and if your fangs haven't come in by the time you're 5, you're probably he's gonna be human. They figure he's gonna be human and not a vampire. And of course, Dracula doesn't want to be human. Dracula wants him to be a monster. He wants him to be a vampire, and he's worried, and he sends Mavis and the husband away to go on vacation and whatnot, and the kid stays behind. And the whole thing is, he's trying to turn this kid into a vampire by doing crazy things and putting him through like the ropes and stuff like that. But of course, the kid's basically human. But will I give it away? Is he human or is he a vampire? I have to wait to see at the end. I won't give that away. But it was definitely a solid sequel. Again, not quite as good as the first one, but still definitely good. Had some very funny moments in it, some very interesting moments in it. I liked it. I would definitely say check it out. If you've seen the first movie and you like the first movie, second one is definitely worth checking out. So Hotel Transylvania and Hotel Transylvania 2, solid movies. I highly recommend both of them. And this Halloween, I'll probably watch these again. I love them. These are great. They're just fantastic movies. And then the last movie I checked out and watched this. Actually, I watched Hotel Transylvania. This actually, was it this movie? I want to say it's Hotel Transylvania. This is the first official movie that Cinema Sickness Jr. has ever watched in its entirety. Now, he's watched shorts. He's watched like How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Mickey's Christmas Carol and stuff like that. He's watched those, but those are like half hour long or something like that. He sat through those. But he's never sat through a whole hour-and-a-half movie. He actually watched the entire movie. So this is Cinema Sickness Jr.'s first full-length movie right here. Pretty crazy. But he also watched this, although he didn't finish this with me. He only watched like the first like hour of this. And then he had to get a diaper change, and at that point he was just kind of overwatching movies and wanted to go play. So it happens. But Paddington. Didn't know what to think of this going into it either, as I really hadn't heard anything on it. I mean, I knew it existed, and that's about it. I knew it was about Paddington Bear. It was pretty good. I recommend this one as well. I love the fact that it's just this great British story. I certainly love stories that don't necessarily take place. There are American stories that are just like completely British stories, and all about this bear who ends up having to come to London. I'm not going to give too much away, but he ends up having to come to London and find a family, and he ends up finding this family who just take him in temporarily, but then they try to find the explorer who first found these bears. He's going to go live with him, and there's this crazy lady who wants to put him in Nicole Kidman, who wants to stuff him. Basically, it's kind of morbid. She wants to kill him and stuff him, and she even talks about stuffing a human at one point, which is kind of weird. But interesting movie. Definitely has a lot of heart. Definitely a fun movie. It's definitely a movie for the kids, but it was a good movie with some heart. And again, if you like CGI, well, this is like a CGI movie with, it takes CGI animated bear in a human world, but it's still definitely worth checking out. I thought it was a pretty good story, and I would definitely say if you have a kid, definitely worth checking out with a kid. But it's good for humans as well. It's got some funny jokes for humans in it. For humans? For adults? Yeah, because kids aren't humans. Just, those things, those little kid things, but not for us humans. What am I talking about? For adults. if you're an adult, you'll still like the movie as well. So I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, it had some heart. It's not for everybody to see, but if this is your type of thing, it is worth checking out. I enjoyed it. Again, great, heartfelt British movie. Definitely check it out. So, all right, guys, there you go. That was it. So definitely some great watches over the last week. A lot of good movies right here. And yeah, I'm going to recommend every one. I would not see a single one of these were a bad movie. So every one of these I highly recommend. If you're interested in checking any of these films out, by all means, see them. They were all great. So, all right, guys, there you go. That was it. So, like I always say, guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and you'll get one. Also, if you want to pick yourself up a cool Cinema Sickness t-shirt or some other cool Cinema Sickness gear like hats and pins and all kinds of other stuff, head over to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com where you can grab yourself some of those. And also, if you want to help support these videos and bring more of these videos out and show your support, head over to patreon.com/cinemasickness. Become a patron and show your support. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, it helps more videos come out. So, all right, that's it. Again, have an absolutely fantastic day. Hopefully, your weekend and your week is going to go better than mine. All this snow is crap. I know some of you guys leaving comments saying you got a ton of snow as well. Sorry, it's crap. I'm living through it too. But hopefully wherever you're living, maybe you guys are having great weather and you got no snow and things are just going on as always. And if that's the case, good for you. Awesome. Go out and do some hunting. Go out and make up for the lack of hunting that I got to do this weekend. Go out and buy some cool stuff and leave some comments. Let me know what you pick up. So, all right, again, that's it, guys. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.